using a foam roller for spinal hygiene. So, you get up every morning, you brush your teeth 2 to 3 times a day. So, or flossing, it's oral hygiene. So, but a lot of times people don't take care of their spine. So, for years now we've used a foam roller. Back in the mid 2000s, we were, had these foam rollers and nobody had them. Gyms didn't have them. And the way we taught it and still teach it is that you use this like you would a toothbrush, except that this is like a toothbrush for the spine, so to speak. So you use it for spinal hygiene. And, there are, once I discovered foam rolling, a long time ago, 13, 14 years ago, I couldn't believe that I ever lived without a foam roller. And I also feel that way about chiropractic. I mean, I just don't even know how people do it without chiropractic and foam rolling. So I'm just going to go through real quick some of the techniques that I use for foam rolling. We recommend each position about 2 minutes, but they're incredibly helpful. So, after I get done playing sports, I roll all the time. A lot of times I roll before. Actually, most of the time I roll before. So, and something else to think about. I see a lot of high school athletes and college athletes, and they come in and I see a lot of runners, and they'll have these tendonitis issues, might be IT band or plantar fasciitis, and I ask them, are you doing a bunch of foam rolling before and after you run? And they're not. So it can affect even youthful people. It's really helpful for me. So one of the things it's helpful for is thoracic mobility. So that's mid-back. So just using the foam roller like this, you can do it a couple different ways. You can pull your chin in, which this is actually a postural stabilization exercise. Sometimes if I want to get more extension in the spine, I'll do this. But I don't go past the thoracic spine. When you start rolling into the low back down here, it'll actually jam those facets and it can cause some problems. So, thoracic spine, and then I roll over. When people are really rolled forward, sometimes it's because their lats are tight, and that's from sitting in a computer, and this gets tight and this gets tight. It's called upper cross syndrome. So, we know that upper cross syndrome or these things are oftentimes structurally related, but it's still really important to address the muscles. So you can roll like this right on that lat, and this one hurts. And you just want to be careful that you don't get over onto the ribs, because some people have thin ribs and they can crack them. So, just right in that big muscle right there, and that really will help square your shoulders up. It's good for baseball players too. When their shoulders are rolled forward, they tear rotator cuffs. IT band, you can go, this is a big runner's injury, goes all the way down to the knee. You can roll like this. I stack my legs to get more weight on there, and so you can go all the way up and all the way up into the hip. This is a big one for me. I have, not terrible, but if I get tight anywhere, it's in my IT band. You can also do a piriformis. So when you cross your leg in this figure 4 motion, you actually, it stretches out that piriformis and exposes it a little bit. So these two things are huge for athletes. I mean, this should be, pre-game stuff in my opinion, before any outing. Calves. So this is a big part of plantar fasciitis. And then, in calf tears and things like that. I stack them for more weight. The other thing is it's actually decent core stability, because I have to control my body with my shoulders to really do it effective and efficiently. That's the best way to do it. And then last but not least, it's not great for hip flexors. I'll show you lacrosse balls later, but lacrosse balls I think work a little better, but you can use them for hip flexors too. So same thing, I just kind of get my legs up in the air so that I can get a little more weight on the foam roller. And I do this all the time. I recommend every house has 1 or 2 of them. We have our kids doing it, pre-sport, it's a major part of spinal hygiene. So that's your health nibble.